Alright, hello there, and welcome back once again. We are in the last video of Chapter 5. Wahoo! Last one to Section 5-6. It's a real short one here, so pay attention. Easy stuff. Multiplying and dividing numbers in scientific notation is very simple if you follow two steps to each one. First off, to multiply numbers in scientific notation, make sure they're written in scientific notation, and then multiply the numbers first and add the exponents. Talk about that. When you're done, make sure the new number is in between 1 and 10, because all scientific notation has to have a base between 1 and 10. If you were dividing, you would divide the numbers and then subtract the exponents, because we always subtract exponents with division. We would then make sure the new number, the base of the new number, is in between 1 and 10. Use a couple examples to explain this. What we do, 1.5 times 10 to the 5th times 3 times 10 to the 2nd. They're both already in scientific notation. So I'm going to take the two bases, which are 1.5, as well as 3, and I'm going to multiply those two together. So 1.5 times 3. Got the bases together. We're going to then multiply that times the actual exponents. 10 to the negative 5th sorry about that, little technical difficulties, times 10 to the 2nd. That's how we do it. We just group them. Now 1.5 times 3 is 4.5. So our base is 4.5. Whenever we multiply the same base, 10s to the same base, we add the exponents here. So we're going to go ahead and add the negative 5 and the 3. And when I add negative 5 and 3, I end up getting negative 3. So this 10 to the negative 5th times 10 to the 2nd is going to be 10 to the negative 3rd. I finished by looking and realizing that my base is in between 1 and 10. Therefore, this is my final result. Easy stuff. Now let's say you get some numbers that aren't in scientific notation and you need to multiply or divide them. First thing, convert them to scientific notation. So here at the top, I'm going to move this decimal place over until I find a number in between 1 and 10. Right there we are. 4 is a number in between 1 and 10. So my base here would be 4, or 4.0. Now, we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots, and it was moved 5 spots to the right. That's why it is 4.0, excuse me, let's get an eraser here, I made a mistake. 4.0 times 10 to the negative 5 power. I'm going to do the same thing to the denominator. In the denominator, I'm going to move the decimal point over until I get a number in between 1 and 10. There it is. 2 is a number in between 1 and 10. And I check to see how many times I moved that exponent. I moved it twice to the left. So that's why it's 10 to the positive 2 power. Now, what we're going to do here, we are going to go ahead and divide the bases. And then divide the exponents. Moving on, 4 divided by 2 is 2, so the base will be 2.0. And 10 to the negative 5, these negatives would go downstairs, so you'd end up with 10 squared and 10 to the 5th downstairs. And there's nothing upstairs, so we would write a 1. Finally, we add them. 2 plus 5 is going to be 7. This is 1 over 10 to the 7th power, which is the same thing as 10 to the negative 7. All right, last slide. Let's convert this one. It's not in scientific notation, so we'll convert it. I'm going to move the decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to get a number between 1 and 10. That number is 5.0. And since I moved it 6 places to the left, that will be 10 to the positive 6 power. This is then going to be multiplied times. We're going to move this decimal point over 1, 2, 3. It's also going to be 5 spaces. The base of it is 2.0, and we moved it 5 spaces to the left. That's why it's 10 to the positive 5 power. So I convert them into scientific notation so that I can do the multiplication. With the multiplication, I will do the bases 5.0 times 2.0, and then I will multiply the exponents. 10 to the 6th times 10 to the 5th. Moving on, 5 times 2 is 10. And it is 10, so I can use that as a base. And 10 to the 6th times 10 to the 5th, we add the exponents. It becomes 10 to the 11th power. This can also be written as 1.0 if you want to move this base over 1 and add 1 to the power. It's 1.0 times 10 to the 12th. I will accept either one. Either one is fine here. Moving on to the last one. On the last one, we will divide the bases and divide the exponents. Moving on, in dividing the bases, 7.5 divided by 3 is 2.5. That is a number in between 1 and 10, so I can use it as my base. And I look and I realize there's 10 to the 6th up the power upstairs, 10 to the 4th downstairs. There are 2 more 10s upstairs. Subtracting the exponent, 6 minus 4 is 2. Makes it 2.5 times 10 to the 2nd power.